Okay, introducing my next artist now. We've got a male vocalist, solo vocalist now joining me on my show. We have the one and only Tom Webber joining me on my radio show. Welcome, Tom. Good morning.
Good morning. Cheers, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Lovely. I'm just here to get you on to talk about your music journey and talk about a few of your hits as well, so to speak.
Sounds good to me. I
Right.
can't wait. Yeah.
Yes, so my first question, I'm going to take it back a little bit. Who have been your inspirations over the years, starting out in this music journey?
To be honest, there's so many different artists and bands spanning from 50s to now, but the main ones are kind of the Beatles, JJ Cale, Beach Boys, Kasabian, even people like Oasis and stuff like that, and Miles Kane, Arctic Monkeys, so many different kind of things, but mostly guitar music, I'd say.
Nice. And how long would you say have you been doing music for?
Um, Well, really, I've been doing music since I was like 13, but only like professionally since I was about 21, I'd say.
All right, brilliant. How old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 23, 24 in April.
Oh, wow. So very young still.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
just a youngster, really,
Yeah,
young lad.
got the world at your feet, which is good.
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. So, bringing it on to now, you released a single called "This Time" at the onset of this year, 2024. So, this time, what was the meaning behind this time?
This time was kind of about you know, a relationship that may have passed and you're still kind of holding on and you still hold a bit of a flame for someone. And I was really inspired by Last Shadow Puppets. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the work of Last Shadow Puppets, sort of Miles Kane and Alex Turner, on this kind of overall sound of the single. But I just really wanted an upbeat guitar driven song with kind of urban sounding drums in it. And I think I'm really pleased with how it turned out.
Oh, that's good. And that brings you on to a new single now you're promoting, you're campaigning for. It's called "Keep Calling." On first impressions, it's an instant hit, very upbeat and up tempo, as you say. Who did you work with on
Thank
this record?
I worked with Jack Kay and James Drings, so the same fellas that I worked with when we recorded this time and the previous single. So we kind of just went in and we have a really good chemistry together. I think like we really enjoy just all three of us just making music in a room. It's really fast paced and we just have a good laugh doing it. Dan, if I'm honest, it's. And to get great work that comes out afterwards is an added bonus. But I just love working with those guys.
And what's this song touch on this time? "Keep Calling."
It's kind of just about a friendship that an old friendship that we've all experienced in our lives in some shape or form, and one of you's kind of hanging on to the past maybe, and the other one wants to move on. So it's kind of driven on that kind of storyline, I guess.
Oh, that's very interesting. I like to think like friends are like stars, aren't they? They come and go, but the ones that stay are the ones that glow.
Oh, that's a good quote. I'll have to remember that one. Write that one. That should have been in the song, Dan. It's there.
Do you have any life mottos which help you like from day to day? Doing what you do.
I really like. I always get it the wrong way round, but I always like. For every two steps forward, there's one step back. But it kind of keeps me grounded thinking about that, and it goes to show like even in the hard times, you're going to have another two steps. For every hard time you have, you're going to have two steps forward. So it kind of keeps you positive, I think. And just to be honest, as simple as it is, the glass half full, I think is the most important one.
That's good. Classic adage is there. Brilliant. Just throwing it back to the single now. "Keep Calling." The artwork on this single is quite fascinating, eye-catching. Features a good old-fashioned Alexander Bell telephone.
Yeah, yeah, it's a super old telephone. Yeah, and to be honest, the inspiration for the artwork, I got from kind of I love pop art. I mean, I'm a huge well. I wanted to be an artist, a visual artist before wanting to be a musician, and I've always still loved photography and things like that. So the sleeve of singles and stuff is a great kind of opportunity to try and be creative in that. And just did it with my girlfriend. We just got she had an old telephone, and we just put it up, and I just did some Photoshop work on it, and just kind of tried to make it as iconic as it can possibly be.
Brill. The landline isn't dead just yet, then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it wasn't actually plugged in, thankfully. If it was, I think we might have had a bit of trouble. But yeah, I don't
Cool.
know.
And you're on the road at the moment, aren't you? What are you most looking forward to about being on tour?
To be honest, just playing to people is the most enjoyable thing. I'm on the road at the moment with Tom Meehan, and we were in Swansea last night, and it was just incredible. And in Milton Keynes tomorrow night and stuff like that. And then as soon as I finish that this week, and then a couple of days off, and then I'm in Scotland with Roseanne Reid. So I'm in Glasgow, Edinburgh, Aberdeen, and Stirling. So it's keeping me busy, which is nice.
And you're playing a few festivals in the midsummer in June under the apple tree in Eridge Park in Kent.
Yeah, yes, it's going to be good fun. So it's the Black Deer Festival, and there's loads of cool artists playing, sort of old and new artists, and so it's under the apple tree, like you said. But yeah, it'll be good.
They call Kent. It's always the garden, isn't it? They always show it in Kent. I think something like that. Anyway, the sun always comes out in Kent.
Yeah, exactly. I like Kent. It's a nice place. I went on holiday there when I was younger. It'd be good to go back there now. I'm trying to do it as a musician.
Also, if talking about like performances, if you could open a show for any artist, who would it be?
Probably Miles Kane. I've always loved Miles Kane. Arctic Monkeys. Probably just that sort of thing, really. I mean, to be honest, Tom Meehan was a big one, and I feel like I've achieved that. That was a bit of a dream come true. So I tick that one off. I just hopefully get there's a long time to go, and hopefully tick off the others in the meantime.
Yeah, it's one of them questions which is kind of like on the spot, isn't it? To think of an artist straight away. So sometimes can you have to think on that one, don't you? Sometimes.
Yeah, I can guarantee, Dan. As soon as we finish this, I'll be like, "Oh God, why didn't I say Paul McCartney or something like that?" I mean, that would be the smart move, wouldn't it?
Well, what's your opinions on the state of the music industry, both for live venues and the just the music business in general?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, it's from my perspective, the main thing that I've got to think is like to just think positive. But like anyone who's kind of involved in the music industry will know that it's so different to how it once was before. You know, people don't go out and buy records anymore, and more importantly, like in a record shop, you wouldn't be able to see how many people have bought. If you see a single, for example, you wouldn't be able to see how many people have bought it. So everything it's a massive numbers game now, and with social media and stuff. But it's like I've always just thought it's like sink or swim. I mean, I could sit and complain about it, or say that it's not what it was, but then you'd be nowhere. You've got to kind of ride with the waves, I guess. So, and it's still good. There's still so much buzz around music, and there's so much great music coming out. And I think people, especially since COVID, I think people are just craving live gigs more than ever. Really,
That's amazing. I like to see fellow artists, like work with each other as well. I think that's great how they can like collaborate and support each other.
yeah, exactly. I think that's a nice thing. It sounds like, obviously, as I said, I've not been doing this for years and years and years, but what I can tell is musicians want to help fellow musicians just because the support there is like the best support you can get. It's no longer like a kind of oh, I'm better than you, like don't step on my turf kind of thing. It's really nice how everyone looks out for each other.
That's what it's about, really, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
And you mentioned your love of art. If you weren't doing music, do you know what you would be doing otherwise right now?
Um, Probably photography, to be honest, man. I mean, it really was when I finished sixth form college. I was doing photography and artwork and stuff like that, and painting and stuff like that, and it was really two paths. I was just the sensible path would have been to go down photography because it was what I was doing for years and years before then, like portrait photography and kind of abstract art. And then I just thought, well, do you know what? I'm gonna give it a crack at music, and I'm glad I did because I wouldn't be sat here talking to you if I didn't. So, yeah.
And there's nothing stopping you like doing everything at once, is there? Simultaneously.
Oh yeah, I still do. I still do like art and things like that, and I love taking photos. I love Polaroids as well, so I love getting portraiture on nights out and things like that. But whether there'd be a market for it in terms of a business, I'm not sure if anyone would be interested. But for my own personal hobby, I love doing that stuff.
That's amazing. And right here, right now, we're concentrating about your new single, Keep Calling. All for me to do, really, is give this a little spin on my show.
Yeah, no, thank you, yeah.
You're welcome. So, Tom Webber, thanks for joining me on my show. It's been a pleasure. Nice speaking with you. Really nice young man you are talking to me today.
Oh, thanks, Dan. Thank you for having me, mate. I really appreciate it.
That's
All
great.
the best.